not gonna lie to you, but I got black victim mentality fatigue, man. I am so sick and tired of hearing the same thing, meaning that this victim mentality that's in the black community, I about had it, man. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. And to be honest with you, I bet a lot of these folks probably live, some of them, not all, but the ones that can afford it, I guarantee you, they probably live in a white neighborhood, mixed neighborhood that's nice and have all the amenities, nice parks. I don't know of too many black folks that's hardworking, wants to run to the hood to live and invest their money. Real talk. I grew up in the hood, Compton, California. I was ready to get the hell up out of there. And when I left, or even now, my mom's still alive, and I don't even like to go down there. When I do, I'm ready to haul ass back to where I live. You know, you hear all these black nationalists, black power, black unity, and you don't even support some of the black businesses because they may not can compete. For an example, a person that may have a beauty supply store don't have all the products or merchandise that you need. And even if they did, if you can find it for $1 cheaper, you'll haul ass and you'll go drive 3-4 miles down the street to purchase that and not support it. So when y'all start talking about all this black unity, I don't even want to hear it, man, because I don't even want to live in a black neighborhood. I would not take my hard-earned dollars and go move in a black neighborhood. Why? Because I don't want to be some of you black folks is the ones that I would keep my eye more on than if I walk past a white guy. And I can say this because sometimes you go to work and you see other black guys, they won't even speak, man. They just mean mug you. But a white guy walk by, he'll speak. What was ironic about it, the same black guy that just mean mugged me, if a white guy spoke to him, he'll speak to them. Now, isn't that strange? So all this black unity, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. Probably won't never happen because you black folks don't take care of shit. And I'm not referring to the good black folks, the ones that decent, that's not all into all this black power and all of that stuff, okay? That shit people is making money off of you. I guarantee you, the people that's fronting all these black power movements, they getting paid from black folks, meaning they getting paid to keep your ass in the hamster wheel running around, pissed off. But I bet Al Sharpton, I bet he don't live in a black neighborhood. Bet he got a nice house. I bet most of your politicians, all of these that keep you riled up and angry and keep talking about slavery in the past, Black Wall Street, that's all you talk about. If black folks wants to build, go and build. Nobody is stopping you. Nobody is stopping you from building. If you choose to go build, go build. Don't get mad at somebody because they want to have a all-white neighborhood. So damn what? They want to get away from you Negroes probably. The way y'all acting today, y'all acting like damn fools. That's all I got to say about that. If you want to build, black man, black woman, go build. If you want to go live in a black neighborhood, which I highly doubt, because, when I lived when I was growing up, we had to when we opened our garage to cut the grass, we had to open the garage and close the garage right back. All black neighborhood. Why? Because another black guy will be looking to steal from you. I choose to live in a mixed neighborhood, meaning that there's predominantly either going to be white or it's mixed. But I, for sure, is not going to live where it's all Negroes. Because you Negroes are just complaining. You got the victim mentality. Your handlers and your gatekeepers keep stirring you up, stirring the pot, keep you stuck in the hamster wheel that goes round and round, and you still too blind to see. You know, it'd be one thing if you was the actual victim in slavery. You wasn't. The people that you accuse of being your oppressor, they're not here either. Or let me say that again. The people that you accuse of being your oppressor ain't oppressing you at all. You know, if you got obstacles or roadblocks, go around. Find another route. Don't be stopped. That's the way I see it. You know, stop wanting a handout. Do for me, do for me, do for me, do for me. That's what you guys sound like, a broken goddamn record. Obviously, Obama didn't think you needed nothing. He didn't think that you was being treated unfairly because he didn't do a damn thing for you. What he did do was for the Native American Indians because he felt like they was being treated unfairly. But if he thought black folks was being treated unfairly, why didn't he do something for black folks? You can bring up all the reasons. You can say this and that, or you don't know this and that. I'm giving you my perspective, my view on life, based on what I know. I ain't never claimed to know everything. But what I do know is you Negroes are never going to come together, because there's always going to be that one guy that's going to say, who made you the head Negro in charge? Y'all can't build shit. You don't do right. You don't do right in business, some of you. Not all of you. Some of you that try to go out and hustle, and that's what you do. You hustle people. You don't do right in business. You got a merchandise, somebody go order from you online, it take 15 damn days to get it. I remember having a guy go paint my car. I went to go check on my car. He riding down the street in my damn car. Ninja shit. You see? And you wonder why the world don't respect you. You know, they can't respect you when you keep having the same argument. You still talking about the same shit. You still saying the same damn thing. Your Democratic Party stopped the reparations. Abraham Lincoln and the Republican Party was going to give you reparations. But once he got assassinated, that Democratic president that came in struck it down. Your famous Democratic, liberal, socialist plantation of a damn party. And they still got shackles on your goddamn neck because you believe what they say. And you need to get out of your own racist mentality, your hatred that's in your heart towards white people. As long as you stay there, and I bet you're a Christian, I bet you profess some kind of spirituality, and you got all this hatred in your heart, you ain't nothing but of your father, the devil. That's all I got to say, folks. Wake the hell up and get out of this victimhood mentality y'all got. Because I damn sure don't want to live around a bunch of black folks. I wouldn't mind living around black folks that's decent human beings, conservatives. I don't mind living around them, but I don't want to live around you other Negroes. That's my thought. And that's just me keeping it 100 and keeping it a buck. Yeah, everybody, enjoy your day. Peace and love.
I don't know what this man's experience must have been, but I feel like he has a very deep experience with the black folks. And that is why he's actually coming out to actually say this, because in as much as he's saying he can't stay in an environment where the whole black folks are and so on and so forth, I don't just want to judge him by just this video alone, because like I said, every single person have their own mentality on how they can actually deal with a certain things. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead. Let me roll out the other clips I have for you guys, and I'll be back with commentaries. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches you have in today's episode. And guys, this is just for educational purposes, not to come here and bash anyone. So let's continue.
Please, please, please tell me I am not dreaming right now. Are we really going to talk about this? Are we really going to talk about this? Cause baby, I got some stories. Stories. So let's talk about it. Black fatigue. Regular black people do not want to be around ghetto black people. And I have a story. Several, but this one takes the cake for me. So, before me and my husband moved in together, got married, whatever, when we first started dating, he insisted that I go to his house so I can be able to sleep over there or whatever and just spend a little time with him. Of course, I had to go ahead and tell my mother about it, and she was all right with it, you know, as long as I didn't do anything that crossed the line. Because, you know, she's a devoted Christian, and she believes that, you know, you can't be sleeping around, da 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 da. That's the type of woman that she is. So anyway, I said yes. I spent the first couple of nights at his house. And for a while, it was all right. Until this one particular night that we were asleep. Something woke us up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Baby, the neighbors downstairs were having a party and they didn't stop until 7 in the morning. This was on a weekend, keep in mind. Me and my husband, we went to bed because we were so tired out because of the fact that we were drinking. A lot of drinking. This is why my liver is so fucked up. Anyway, yeah, we were doing a lot of drinking, a lot of beer, a lot of alcohol. I must have drunk a whole bottle of Bailey's and got fucked up off that one bottle. Now keep in mind, the bottle's like this big. Drunk the entire bottle. Bad idea. Anyway, so we went to bed at around 12, woke up at around 2, party going on downstairs. And I'm just like, okay, do they have no consideration? And my husband proceeds to tell me that he lives in a neighborhood where they practically party all the time. Why? Because half of these people are on welfare. They're on food stamps. They're raising so many kids. They're living in these rundown houses, and they don't work. My husband, and I think a couple of more of his neighbors, I think about seven of his neighbors, including him, which made 8, were the only ones that were working, who had stable jobs. The rest of them living off welfare and everything like that. Some of them were drug dealers. Some of them were weed dealers. Some of them were selling $5 plates out of their houses. When I mean, I saw a ghetto. Honey, I saw a ghetto. I've heard guns ring out all over the place. I've heard fights going on. When the parties got crazy, they got crazy. The 4th of July parties were the worst because they rang off fireworks nearby the building. So me and my husband were all relaxing and stuff like that. Drinking as always. We go to bed at around 1 because we figured we're not going to hear any fireworks today. Oh no, honey. At 2 o'clock in the morning, boom, 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 all up in the air. I'm like, Michael, it sounds like it's close near to the building. And he was like, it is. Tell me why his neighbors, his own fucking neighbors, were shooting off fireworks so close to the building that if any of these fireworks were to hit inside, were to go inside the apartments, the whole building would be set on fire. Oh my God. And the pandemic was even worse because of the fact that both my grandparents got sick from COVID. And my mom was like, you can't stay in the house. You can't stay in the house because you're guaranteed to get COVID. I wound up getting COVID regardless, but it was only like a no smell, no taste. That was the only thing that I suffered through. But whatever. I had to stay with my husband for a total of 2 months. And when I mean, the parties used to be every weekend. Now the parties are almost every day. They go into the corner stores, they buying mad liquor. They're just celebrating. Every single day they're partying. Every day. Every day. Every night they're outside drinking, throwing up the grill on the barbecue and all this. They're partying every single day. The pandemic just made shit worse because all they were doing was just partying and partying and partying. Just because of the fact that none of us had to work doesn't mean you can't deprive us of some fucking sleep. Like, my guy, seriously, stop shooting off the fireworks. Whatever the fuck you're shooting off. But those days were a nightmare. And my husband hated it because of the fact that he was in an all black neighborhood. There's a couple of Hispanics there, and he's Hispanic as well, but it was nothing but blacks. Poor, ghetto blacks everywhere. And all they're doing is partying, selling drugs, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, partying. So all the fuck these damn bastards are doing. There are times where my husband was like, they didn't stop partying until 7 o'clock in the morning, and he had to be at work at 9. So guess what happened? He had to call out. There used to be a lot of times where he had to call out because he was not able to go to work. But when he finally left that place, when he finally left his neighborhood, and we lived together in a nice little area, everything stopped. No more partying, no more fireworks, no more nothing. And when he went back to his neighborhood drastically changed because all of the ghetto blacks moved. We don't know where they moved to, but they left. They left. And then a lot of the normal ones, like, then you find yourself in a mix. Like, it's still the same rundown apartments, but it looks like they're beginning to fix it up a little bit, which I don't have a problem with at all, which is actually pretty nice. But honey, never again. Never again. Not only do white people don't want to be around ghetto black people don't want to be around ghetto black people. They want to be victims. They want to be blamed and all this other stuff. And the minute you blame them for something, now all of a sudden they got a fucking victim mentality. Honey, I never want to go through that shit again. I'm never living in another all black neighborhood again with ghetto black people that don't know how to act right. Coming in with bonnets, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. You're on welfare, you're on food stamps, and you're making up all sorts of excuses. This is the type of lifestyle you want to live, honey. I would rather make my own money. I don't want to rely on the government because the government at any moment can cut your shit. They can either cut your shit in half or they can cut it completely. You cannot rely on these bastards to do anything. So, honey, to all minorities out there, whether you are black, whether you are Hispanic, whether you are whatever, just know us normal black people, we don't want to be around ghetto black people either. And that's it.
No, you can see from this particular lady's story, she is actually trying to like explain a different side, right? That is why I said it, that every single person have their own different excuses why black fatigue is actually being rubbed on them in one way or the other. So in essence, we do not just judge people because of maybe their one mistake or their two mistake, right? But how do we now curtail this black fatigue not to rub on other people? How do we make the system blend, not to rub? Anyways, let me go out and roll out the last clip I have for you guys before I say exactly what I want to say. So let's just get right into it, guys. I'll be back with commentaries.
So now y'all got black fatigue because black people are calling y'all out, saying no and saying fuck around and find out. Now all of a sudden y'all are exhausted from black people. Like, y'all show every single day that y'all are more tired of speaking of the people that speak up about racism and inequalities, and y'all don't really care about the actual racism and inequalities that people suffer from. But we are the ones that have a victim mindset. Please make it make sense. And then another thing, y'all are literally using the term incorrectly. That is not what black fatigue means. I'm gonna make it easy and just read it straight from ChatGPT because y'all just seem like y'all don't know anything. Black fatigue refers to the physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion experienced by many black people as a result of enduring systematic racism, discrimination, and repeated racial trauma over time. And then the people that are using it in a way to say that they're tired of specific black groups, as far as like this ghetto black people, white people use the term to describe black people when we were in the slums, actually when they put us in the projects because we didn't have anything because of literally slavery and Jim Crow. I can keep going on. So we were in the ghetto, but then everything that we did was ghetto. But in today, black people are not the only ones that's ghetto. Y'all don't call the Karen who yells at employees in the goddamn retail stores ghetto, because that's very ghetto. You know how many white people I have seen fighting? Very ghetto. In public, I have neighbors and people that live near me, white people, who will walk their dogs with their headscarf or bonnet or whatever they want to use on their head and a robe. Yet when black people do it, let a black woman go outside in her robe and her bonnet to walk her dog. Y'all gonna call it ghetto. Do you know how many times I've been to a restaurant and there was a table of white people, loud, drunk and loud? Stop associating the term ghetto with black people. And to be honest, all of y'all are exhausting. All of y'all just lack accountability. Some of y'all are just brainwashed. And the majority of y'all talking on these topics are so freaking uneducated. It is mind-blowing. Y'all have no idea what y'all talking about. Like, y'all see somebody throw a term out on the internet and y'all all just run with it without even knowing the history or the actual freaking definition of the term. You cannot oppress and discriminate against a group of people and then get upset and say that you're exhausted from them speaking out about them being oppressed. Bro, the gaslighting and lack of accountability. And then y'all try to act like, well, it's not us. We are not our ancestors. We didn't do that to y'all ancestors. Hate crimes happen today. Hate crimes, pay gaps, racial discrimination with jobs and housing still happens today. Didn't one of these banks, credit unions, just get called out for denying more black loans than anybody, even though those people qualified? And y'all trying to act like we're not acting like the victims. We are victims. And instead of owning up to the fact that this country has a problem, y'all sit here and try to gaslight somebody to thinking that they're just making something a problem that's not a problem. Like, this is not made up in our brains. This is not just something that we're just pulling out of our ass. And if it was something that we were lying about, y'all would not be trying to take it, just hide y'all history so bad. Y'all just want to take history out of the history books and what y'all did to our ancestors so we can just look like the bad guys. Black people can just look like we're just poor because of our own fault. The crack epidemic happened because of us, not because of y'all. Y'all really want to paint the picture that we are the problem. While y'all was studying on our brains back then, somebody need to study y'all's, because it's truly sickening the way that y'all think sometimes.
Anyways, welcome back. After watching all of that clips, what do you guys need to tell me in the comment section? Let me know in the comment section. But I will still keep defining black fatigue in general terms so that a lot of people that do not understand the term black fatigue can actually understand the particular side where we are coming from. So anytime I'm doing this particular video about black fatigue ranked and the rest of that, I will make sure I define it and break it down for a lot of people to understand. Black fatigue, right? In general words, it is what? It is a physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion that black people experience from dealing with racism and discrimination on daily, long life basis. It is not just being tired. It is a deep exhaustion that comes from constant micro aggregation being followed in stories, assumption, and criminal stereotype. Systemic racism, unequal access to healthcare, jobs, housing, and education, having to improve what or excellence more than white counterparts, seeing or police brutality, hate crimes, and so on and so forth. Black fatigue equals the lifelong exhaustion of dealing with systemic racism. And yes, black people are very much do experience it because the system that creates it is still alive to date. That is why one of the questions I ask, how do we eradicate this black fatigue? How do we not make our children come up to experience the same thing that we have experienced as parents, that we have experienced as fathers, that we have experienced as mothers? Because it is more like this has been passed from generation to generation. That systemic awareness of your environment, of you do not belong here, you are not us, they are not there. It is bad. And I'm going to be saying this on a general note that if you still have all of those illusion of black fatigue inside of you, I don't know, maybe you just have to try help yourself. just for the sake of your own kids, right? Because at the end of the day, most of these signs we tend to ignore are things that our kids are actually going to grow up with, and at the end of the day, it's going to destroy a lot of things instead of building a community that will be strong, firm, and bold. I know that most of these palm colored people will not even accept their fate to be like, okay, let me lower down my pride and just make everything look as if it's okay. Some of them are realizing, some of them are not realizing, some of them are still into that systemic racism and so on and so forth, where you see them literally on daily basis of the video trying to look out for one or two things that can actually impact the Black community, right? But anyways, what do you think about this Black fatigue rant? What do you think it is? What do you think might be the problem? How can we actually solve it? Because that is why we're actually bringing this video, so that we can both educate each other and know exactly how we can be able to solve one or two issues relating our community. Because a lot of people right now, if you can hear from the video, they don't even believe in the Black community anymore, probably because of one or two experiences that they've been able to go through, they've been able to face, they've been able to see. But I cannot say that is not an excuse. That is also an excuse, but I want you to understand that no matter what you're trying to run for, this community are your community, and one day you are still definitely going to fall back to them once the worst happen. They are the ones that will actually come out for you. So drop all of that thought, drop all of that hatred, drop whatsoever that must have happened that have caused or stir that Black fatigue inside of you, and please look out for how you can actually better yourself, better your community, better your children's life, better whosoever person that is like around you, right? Anyway, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, with no further ado, I don't like to say in my videos, I'm going to be saying, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Do not chat to die. Come back for more. I love you guys. Mwah.